we've got. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, guys, get out of your seats. Get out of your seats.
She knows I'm tired.
That's what's going to make you change your state, right? So start jumping up and down.
You get out.
Alexa, higher. Move your body, move your arms, move your body.
You're going.
Stand up, move your body.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yep, we're getting up and we're getting in the mindset of success. Come on, jump up and down.
Oh my. All right.
Come on, ladies.
Go. For a minute. Come on, Jojo.
31.
I don't need my laptop. I'm already on.
There. My dress is gonna pop up.
Move your arms. At least move your arms around. Get your body moving and the blood flowing.
What?
Oh boy, we're jumping.
Liz, get up. Out of your seat. Jump. Out of your seat. See everybody jumping up and down. We're not going to stop until we see everybody jumping up and down. Come on.
I don't have a bra on.
Right, we're all here. It's fine.
After my kids all day.
We got to break our mindset of embarrassment, of fear, of what it's going to be.
All right, I don't have a bra on.
Liz.
Shake them, Liz. Shake them. All right, run in place for a second.
Holding my dress down.
Alexa, stop. Okay, ladies. How do you feel?
That felt pretty good.
Ready? You feel better than you did when you came in?
I'm outside and it's hot.
Are you more awake? Are you more aware of your surroundings?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know why, if anybody knows, why did I have you do that?
Change
wake
our
us up?
mindset.
Wake up. Participate.
Participation, wake up your body,
Icebreaker.
icebreaker, yep.
To put a smile on our faces.
Okay, so all of that leads to changing your state of mind, of body, of physiology. Because you all can change in a second. You could have had a horrible day today, everything went wrong, and then I told you to get up and start moving around, and whether you were fighting me or not, by the time you started moving, you probably laughed a little bit, you probably giggled at yourself, you had a little bit of embarrassment, but when then you saw everybody else with you doing the same thing, you let yourself go a little bit, right? Yes? Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the thing. You all are leaders, correct? You all lead a team of people that want to go where you're going and go with you even further, right?
Right.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think people will follow you if you are sitting, if you show up like this all the time?
Definitely not.
Right? What type of a person or energy do you tend to follow?
More
Positive.
Positive, what'd you say, Neve?
positive energy.
Positivity, anybody else, any other attributes?
Someone who's
Enthusiastic.
watch, I think.
Wait, say that again?
Someone who's entertaining to watch Within
Okay. Michelle, did you say something? Did you say something, Michelle?
Just somebody that's motivating.
Yeah, like motivated and dedicated to like keep positive energy and keep you going.
Yeah.
Okay, Shauna, what are your thoughts?
Yes, I was just gonna say, somebody that motivates me. Not just super energetic, because sometimes I look at those kind of people and I'm like, okay.
Why?
Genuinely motivating.
Let's talk
Like
really fast.
fakeness about it, but like just people that are, you know, in the middle of that, like they motivate you, they have good energy, they know what they're talking about, like they can share stuff that like seriously happened, like that kind of thing. I am trying to get on with my computer and I don't even see the link on the page. I'm sorry.
It's I can send. Well, let me see. Well, yeah. If you go to the page, I tagged it to the very top. So, Melissa, what are your thoughts?
Mm.
Melissa, you're muted.
I don't know. You want? I don't know if she can be on right now because she hasn't turned on her video. She was typing through the chat, so I can read the chat.
Oh, I see it now.
So
That's
Melissa, if you want to type it up for us, and we can read. There she did.
Melissa, is there a reason why you can't have your video on?
She's eating dinner.
Liz,
Okay,
on.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not gonna be the friend that you want to hear everything the way you want to hear it. I'm here to help you guys grow. And so when you're a leader and you're taking your business as a business that you're going to be paid like a business, you have to arrange your schedule like you have to show up. Like this is something that you have to be here. If you're not going to be paid. So plan ahead and say, this is normally my dinner time. Let me make sure my kids are fed, and then I'm going to be over here. And I don't know what Melissa's saying. I'm not like trying to pick on you, Melissa. I'm using this as an example for everything. Training calls, showing up to things for connection, because we all need connection with people that are like-minded. We all need connection with people that are trying to do the same thing and go the same direction as us. Because if we try to do it on our own, we're gonna fall short. Because that's one of the 6 human needs is connection.
Jess, you sound really far away, honey.
Echoey.
Yeah.
Echoey. Okay, I don't know what to do because
She can't help it. Her house is too big.
it's the same. I'm in the same place I do live Zoom.
Maybe put your volume up. Maybe that'll help.
My volume was all the way to the top.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I want to go back to Shauna because she talked about that people that are too energetic kind of makes her feel uneasy. I want to talk about that. I want you to talk a little bit more about that. Go to that place of what it makes you feel when you see people with too much energy in your definition.
Okay.
Don't be scared, girls. Just say it.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you're thinking of me at all.
No, I am not thinking of you. No. I'm thinking of just some other like program stuff that I've been to. Like I went to it was like a business networking kind of thing, BNI, something like that. Anyway, but the person was like way over the top. I was like, okay, just like I feel like there's a certain level that isn't genuine.
Okay.
That's all.
So give us an example of what they did. There's a reason why I'm asking these questions. I'm not trying to like put you on the spot. And by the way, real fast, Melissa, I know you show up to everything, so I'm never going to take that away from you. I promise you I wasn't picking on you. I was just using it as an example. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
Okay, be specific. Okay.
What were they doing? What were they doing that was like, you were just like, that's just way over the top. That makes me feel uneasy. I could never do that, or I never would want to do that.
I don't know. He just was throwing out like a lot of things like, oh, this is the best money you'll ever spend, and you know, um, I'm trying to think, but it's not coming to me right now. But I just kind of was like, okay.
So was it? Let me stop you there. Let's stop at the money thing. Does money make you feel like uneasy? Like when like money doesn't motivate you? Is that possibly what it is? When she was harping on, oh, you're gonna make so much money, or money, whatever, it kind of turned you the other way because that's not what inspires you? Is
Or
that
did it seem like it was just too good to be true? Like, okay, like
Yeah,
you're blowing smoke up my ass.
kind of
Right.
right, kind of like that, yes. And talking like super loud, like you're right here, I can hear you.
okay?
I'm just and yeah, I mean, I can get like that too, and I'm like super excited about something, but like I'm genuinely, I don't know. I think that I have a really good judge of when somebody's, I don't know, I can kind of see through it. If they're being kind of like,
Fake.
yes,
Hey, yeah, just say it.
Disingenuine.
Throw
for
it out
sure.
there.
yeah, fake, yeah.
Why do you think I'm asking you these questions?
So that we don't be that way.
Yeah, because you need to know what you want to be as a leader. Because
Yeah.
you learn from, like, there's things that I probably do. I'm just using myself as an example that you may say, that's just not me. I could never be like
Yeah.
that, nor do I want to be like that. And that's okay. The idea is to be authentic and to think about, but I'm also going to go in a different direction. We also
Okay.
have to ask ourselves, do I feel that way because I don't feel that I could be that way? Because I don't have the confidence that that is something that I could do. So we have to always be asking ourselves those questions. Do I
Yeah.
go away from that leadership because I just don't, that doesn't inspire me? Would not want to be that person? Or is it because they're showing something that you would like to be, but you feel that you don't have the skill to do, the energy, whatever it is, you may think that it's something you can't do. So those are questions you always have to be asking yourself when you decide what type of a leader am I going to be, and
Right.
how am I going to inspire? I want to ask you. I'm picking on you, Sean. I'm sorry, but thank you for the. You did great because it really helped me get into this. Who else said besides Shauna motivates? You used the word motivates.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle, tell me your definition of motivation.
I think that in order to really motivate somebody, you have to know who you're talking to, who your audience is. Because I think that oftentimes people will talk to you in the terms of what motivates them. And this happened to me not too long ago where somebody was like, you would be great for this other direct sales company, right? And they're like, I've made over $10 million and blah, 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 blah. And they're just talking to me and I just shut down. Because money, I'm a teacher. Money doesn't motivate me. Helping people motivates me. If she would have gotten to know me, she would know how to talk to me and how to come at me and what to say to me, and those key words that would pull me into what she was talking about. And if you're, yes, money makes life comfortable, and I'm not against money in any way, shape, or form. But I want to grow. I want to help people. How am I going to help those single mamas, that need daycare, that need braces, that need, XYZ? That's what motivates me. Helping people motivates me. And I will put people in front of my own needs because that's what fuels me. I could have $1 million in a bank account and be alone. that doesn't motivate me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
know
But I
your
think we-
audience. Know your
totally.
audience and be authentic to what you're speaking to them, because otherwise you're going to just shut down and you're going to lose that person that could potentially be a key person. She's like, oh, you can come to my company and then your superstar director will come to us. And I said, no, 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 no. And I know you, Jess. I know you. And I said, no to me and no for her, because I know you. And you and I are not going to leave Sensi for any, like, ooh, bling, 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 right? It's like, no, shut down. I said, no, because you don't know me and you don't know my superstar director. So thank you very much. And thank you for trying to fakely befriend me. I will never look at your company in any way, shape, or form. It made me feel icky. And I
Mhm.
would never want somebody under me that I'm sponsoring that feels icky.
Mhm.
That's disingenuous, that's disrespectful, and that just doesn't fly.
It was pushy
You know?
for sure.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that did the opposite. That demotivated me, and that made me just go, okay, thank you. Nice meeting you. See you later.
Right. Right,
So-
but if you're a nice person like me, you're gonna sit there and listen to the whole thing and then be like, "Oh, thanks, Benna."
We went camping with this person, so I was stuck with her for 3 days.
Oh
I met her, my husband and her son are friends. I met her and I'm like, oh my God, the only reason. And you know what though? I was like, thank you. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
that was a testament to what I don't want to be to other people. And I don't want to approach other people that way. Thank you, but no thank you. It's not about the money to me. I love my job and I love Sensi. I'm a special education teacher. And if you would have talked to me a little bit more, you would have known that. I love Sensi and I love special education. So I'm not the person for you, you know? So.
Right.
Love you. I make these little signs. Yes.
I have to agree though with that, like that whole pushy mentality of it too. Is like they think that they're being like, I don't know, because I had somebody that approached me for one and I was all ready to do it and everything was great. And like I thought she was a friend of mine. I've known her from high school. We were talking and then the minute she was like, oh, well, how much are you really making? Are you really happy doing what you're doing? And I was like, never mind. And she doesn't speak to me ever since then. And I was like, that's not how I want to be with people.
Same.
What did we learn from all this? Like we
Not to be like that.
The not to do's.
What not?
Yeah.
not to do, but let's also think in another perspective.
Turns you away from the product.
The majority of us we're here because we want to serve. We want to add value to people's lives, right? But there are those people out there that are driven by money. So we have to be able to identify. Okay, we're getting a lot of calls back here. Guys, second, just so I can just share this one thought, and then I'll open up for everybody to chat again. But it's too much of a feedback with what's going on with me. Okay, I think that's better. So what I was saying, and you guys know I lose my train of thought easily. So we started off wanting to know what motivates us, what that definition is for each of us. So that's important. If you don't know what motivates you, it's going to be very hard for you to keep moving forward, because there's going to be times when there's nothing that is, everything's going against you. You get a bag party back with no orders. Every person you talk to about joining ends up not. Every person you talked about hosting says no. All your team member coaching meetings go, you feel like nothing got accomplished and you feel like everything's against you. So what is going to keep you going? And you guys know what this answer is what is your why, right? Why am I doing this? So Michelle just painted a beautiful picture of what is important to her and what keeps her going and what doesn't. So that clarity is what's going to keep you moving forward, because you know what you don't want and you know what you do want and what makes you happy and what makes you not. And you also said something very important, Michelle, that I want to bring up, that you talked about fulfillment. So, and I apologize because there was I think it was actually Shauna that talked about the money. So, or maybe Michelle and you were both doing it anyways. Forgive me if I didn't lock that in. We can have $1 million, $10 million in our bank account. But if we're not fulfilled within, there's people out there like, what's his name? Robin Williams. That was one of the most successful, you'd think is the happiest, funniest, award-winning, everything you can think of, comedian, actor, everything, had everything under the sun, but nothing fulfilled him. So he chose to end his life. So I know this is dramatic, but I really want you guys to understand the different parts of the human needs for people, because now that you're a leader, you have a responsibility. So when people come to you looking for direction, and they're looking for you to help them pull out what they can't pull out. That's what the coaching is, asking the right questions. Because when we help people think about something they may never even thought of, because we ask the right question, that may unpeel the entire onion, that the very core is something very, very small, very, very easily shifted. But if they don't know that's what's holding them back, that God bless you, Neens. If they don't know what's holding you back, then they're not going to move forward. And we always say that if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards, which is basically you're dying. Your business is dying. Your health is dying. And I can say this because I've experienced all of that. Physical, emotional, mental, and career-wise, business. And so I could literally see when my business was growing, I had clarity. I had physical energy. I had mental stability. But when my emotions crashed and I wasn't stable with what I wanted and how I felt about things, and I wasn't sure and clear about what my purpose was, my leadership started to go down. My confidence of leadership stopped. My business started to deflate a little bit. The reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because this business is the type of business that you always have to be putting energy into. The structure, though, of the compensation plan gives you leverage. So if you build your business by building wide, and you have a lot of people building that foundation for you, when you're rocky and you're unstable, they're holding you up. So all of you that have been with me since 2017 have been my foundation. Emotionally, mentally, physically even. I've had team members come over and say, get off the couch. We're taking a walk. We're getting out of the house. This type of a business can truly change your life. But the best part of it, it can truly change other people's lives. And that's where contribution comes in. That's another human need. There's 6. We're going to talk 6. What am I doing? 6. I can't count. There's 6 human needs. And we are going to get to sharing your dream boards, but we have to talk about this first, okay? So if you're not contributing in some way to your family, to your friends, to yourself, to your team, you're going to have a lack of significance, whether you realize it or not. You're going to start to feel insecure. Can I do this? Is this business for me? Is this business really, is it really real that people are making $10,000, $20,000 a month? Is that really happening? That's when you're going to stop believing. And your thoughts create your beliefs, right? If you keep questioning over and over, is that really happening? Nobody really wants me as their leader. I don't know what to tell them. I can't help anybody. I don't know what I'm doing myself. If you have that talk enough, then you will start to believe that. And then the contribution that is vital for this business is going to deflate, and you're not going to have the contribution, that need fulfilled. And then that's how your business slowly starts to deteriorate. I'm not good enough for leadership. So my team, they can do without me. So they'll find there's plenty of resources out there. There's plenty of trainings out there. They can do it. They don't need me. But is that true? They came on board because of you. Something you said, the way you made them feel, the picture you painted to them, that helped them believe that it was possible, that life can be different, whether it's their bank account can be different. Something you said and contributed and offered to them gave them a belief. And so when we set back and say they don't need me, you're basically giving up on them. And what's going to happen? Because you believed in them before they believed in themselves, right? They're going to go back, oh, well, she doesn't believe in me anymore, so I guess I can't do this. But where does that belief come from for yourself as the leader? I want to unmute yourself and throw some ideas out there of how can we find our belief system that we can contribute? What are some things? How can we contribute, guys? Shauna?
So, even if it's a little bit of PRV, like, hey, congratulations on those sales, just like, not only if they do $200 or whatever, like, because you encourage that $50 or whatever, and then that makes them want to do more.
Yes. What is recognized is repeated. Because you're helping them recognize something that they did good. And if they don't think they're doing something good, they're not going to take an action to continue to move forward, right? But when you're saying, yes, you put your first order in. Yes, you booked that first party. That's building up the confidence. You're helping them recognize that what they're doing, the actions they're taking, is moving them forward and closer to their goals of why they joined, whatever that may be. And it's so important for us to know why they joined. And it can't be why we joined. It could be totally different. And it usually is. Because I know the reason why I joined is totally different from most of you guys. I didn't have milk in the refrigerator. That's why I joined. I didn't feed my kids. The majority of the people that join us, it's not going to be that dire of a need. It's going to be something small but important to them. And so we have to make sure that we nurture that, because their needs can change, can't they?
Yep.
Look what we're going through right now, a pandemic. Their jobs are being lost. People are passing away. They're losing family members. So their needs are changing, aren't they? They may not recognize it right now, but their needs are changing. And it's important up to us as leaders to find out how it's changing. Now, I will tell you, the bigger your organization gets, it's going to be harder. It really is. So that's why I do things like this, is because the people that show up to things like this, I can handle, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you. If you all came to me and said, I need your undivided attention, I need your support. But if 400 people came to me, even if everybody that knows my heart would love that to happen, but it's not possible. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And I don't want you guys to think that it's possible. One of the most amazing things that a superstar director told me when I was a brand new director, she asked me how many people. I said, I can't keep up with everybody. I feel bad because I forget what the last conversation we had and what was going on in their lives. And she goes, let me ask you a question. How many people are in your team? I was like, a couple hundred. She goes, how many in your front line? I said, about 75, maybe 80. She goes, your brain can't obtain more information long-term, longer than about 50 people. 50 relationships. And those are the people that stick with you and connect with you. All of you are that example. I know, for the most part, where you guys want to go. Sharon's brand new, but I've had some conversations with her, so I know her enough because she has reached out to me. She's connected with me. She's told me, I want this. She's got a great leader, but she is reaching for every resource of connection. And so, of course, I'm going to entertain that, right? Because I want to serve. I want to help others grow and improve. And that's what this whole organization is about. Raise your hands. How many of you have been with other direct sales before Sensi? I can't because I haven't. So all of you, I'm the only person that never been with any other direct sales. Literally, I hit the jackpot.
I haven't.
Oh, Shauna, I'm sorry. I didn't see. Okay. So, okay. So you know what's cool though? So there's two advantages. One advantage of being in direct sales prior, and then the advantage of not, is that you don't know any, with me and Shauna, we don't know anything different. So all we know is the culture of the amazing Sensi. Love, family, authenticity, simplicity, generosity. That's all we know, okay? But then those of you that have, you recognize the differences so fast that you have, this is your heart and soul. Like Michelle, there's nothing that can take her away from Sensi. Even if somebody said, but you can make $10 million. That's not, that wherever your heart is, warm the heart, wherever your heart is, that's where you're gonna stay. And that's what we want to create in our teams. That culture of you're a part of a family. We love you, right? Okay.
I was in another one and like it was upsetting. Like, you know how you talked about like just even if it's a small sale, just recognizing people. I've noticed that with Sensi. I've only been with Sensi I think since like March, but it's like every time that I do something small, like the recognition is something I've never had before, and it makes me want to. And in other sales companies that I've worked for, like other people would get these ginormous sales and they'd get recognition, and I'd be like, well, hey, I got like one sale, and it just wouldn't matter. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I finally was like, I can't be a part of this because it makes me feel worse about myself than good about myself.
Right.
So with that experience, you just pretty much wrote what type of a leader and what things you want to do for your team members to make sure that they feel what you feel with Sensi and don't feel what you felt with these other companies.
Yep.
That's so awesome. And the fact that you're brand new, you're connecting all of that, and you're here. You're in a leadership program and you just started in March. That is amazing. That is awesome. Honestly, that's like, woo! I agree. Okay, so I want you guys to jot these things down. Some of you that's been with me forever, you're like, Jess, I've been through it, but we're gonna go through it again. We're gonna do a refresher because you could never recognize these things too much because life's going to hit you and it's going to erase some of the most core values of what got you to where you are, to the point that you know that Sensi is your path and Sensi is what really warms your heart. Even if you're not making the money that you would like to make, it's keeping you here. It's keeping you here. And I want you to add, if you're saying yes in your mind, I want you to add yet. Because as long as you stick around and you keep serving others, you will make the money. That happens. The focus of contribution and service is what we need to focus on first. Okay. So this is what I want you guys to drop down. I'm going to write a list 1 to 6. The first one is certainty. The second one is uncertainty or variety. You can just do a / variety to kind of clarify it. The third is significance. The fourth is love and connection. And the reason why you have to do both, love and connection, is because some people will replace the love because they don't quite feel comfortable with love with connection. And so you just have to decide who you are. And it also helps you determine who you're in front of. If somebody's not quite like there with the lovey, squeezy, I want to hug you, and you have to be able to still connect with them in a way that they still feel comfortable to be able to move forward with them.
So can you repeat certain? You said certainty was the first one.
Certainty, uncertainty, significance, and then this one is love and connection. Those have to be together because it's the same thing depending on your mindset and how you feel comfortable. Growth is the fifth one.
What was 3? I'm sorry, what was 3 again?
Significance. Is my sound that bad?
No, I couldn't find it.
No. I just write slow.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm trying to type it in the chat so people have it as well. Like,
oh, you're awesome, Liz. Thank you.
and then number 4 was what? I'm sorry.
Love/connection.
Okay, and then 5.
Growth.
Okay, we're good.
And the sixth one is contribution.
Guys, I got a shirt.
Okay, so we did it in a certain order, but I want you to look at those words and those emotions and those attributes and those feelings, and I want you to actually decide in what order is important to you in your life. How important is certainty to you? It may not be. You may be fine with, I'm cool with not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. If I can, you have to think about what order of these 6 human needs in order of your personal desires and needs are they. So contribution may be first. Like for me, contribution, that's what led me to joining Sensi. I wasn't contributing to my family. So I felt like I was failing my family. So I took a risk and charged the last $99 on my last credit card with any availability because it hurt more to not contribute than for somebody to tell me no or to get into a business that I had no idea what I was doing. So that's why contribution is first for me. And I had to learn that. So what order? And I want you guys to share, and then we're gonna go like in order of what I see. I'll call your name out and want you to share and why, what order it was, and then we're gonna move on to dream boards and how we can connect those things to make it even more solid.
Can we just talk about like what significance, like, do you mean like how you mean that or?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So significance is, all right. So here, one thing I want to share is that there's a positive and a negative version of each one. Okay. So if we're using a positive significance, is that a lot of people feel significant when they're helping people. So contribution and significance sometimes collide. Okay. You feel significant when you see your name on the top 10 of your title. You feel, wow, I did something. You feel like something significant, right? A negative significance is when people bully people into fear so they can feel significant, like, oh, I make this person scared when I yell at them, and that makes me feel like, oh, I have a dominant significance to that person. But that's a negative way of significance, right? When you think about it, if somebody would, putting a gun to somebody's head, they're doing that because somewhere they don't feel significant, and the only way to get their significance is to control a situation by dominating somebody and their emotions. So it's so important to every action that everybody makes, there's a reason why they make it. So a good example, and this is a little off, but it's an example of this situation, is there was a consultant of mine. She rolled up to me. She's now my frontline. She was one of the most negative people I've ever experienced. Every word that came out of her mouth was negative. Everything she posted, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, this poor woman doesn't even realize how she's sabotaging herself because that's all she's feeding herself is negativity. But then I saw her in a different perspective, and I found out that she had very negative people in her life that were telling her negative things on a constant basis, and I actually witnessed it. And then I was able to say, oh, wow, that's why she's so negative. It's because she's being told every day how she's not significant, how she's not good enough. So I switched my mindset myself of she's not negative on purpose. She needs to know that she's significant to me, to somebody. So I need to love her even more. But that takes time, and that takes actual intentional energy on your part to peel that onion and to know that people are acting a certain way for a reason. So if somebody on your team is being negative, there's a reason behind it. If somebody's not showing up, but they're telling you that they want, to be a director and above, but they won't show up to a training call, there's a reason why. Okay, and it may not be anything dramatic. They just may not know how important it is to show up and learn their craft. And we just have to say, hello, if you want to be a director and above, you have to actually take some steps, So does that help you, Alexandria?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And raise your hand if you're done putting your order of the 6 needs.
That helped me too. I need, if you can, clarify uncertainty and variety.
Okay.
So
people need, even though we think we don't, we need, and it may be at the bottom of your list, but every human being needs every single one of these needs. So variety and uncertainty is like, I don't want to know what my presents are going to be for my birthday before my birthday. I want to be surprised.
okay.
Right. Okay. I want to jump off a plane because I want the shock factor. I want to jump off this cliff because I want to do what most people won't do. I want to hit the bullet and talk to this person about joining, even though she's a lawyer, she has a ton of money, she seems happy on the outside, but I'm still going to offer the opportunity because I can't wait to find out that there's somebody out there that looks like on the outside everything is perfect, but there's still a value that Scentsy can add to their lives. Those are like different ways to kind of think about variety and uncertainty.
That makes sense.
Okay, good, awesome. Anybody else need any examples? Okay.
And certainty is just knowing what you're doing, right? Certainty is knowing what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so
kind of.
Like certainty is like love from your children. Some people don't have all of it, but generally, if you yell at them or you make a bad decision, they're still gonna love you, right? Mm. And that's why we tend to take like our angers out on the people we love the most, because we know that either way they're gonna love us in the end. So we can't yell at our team member about how they just treated us, but we can turn around to our husband and be like, why are you talking to me like this? And they're still gonna love you and go to bed with you at night. So those are the things that we have to have certainties in our lives. Some people, a really good example is the average person in our organization, the majority, the 98% of consultants, they need the certainty that they're gonna be paid a certain amount every single month, which is why they keep their regular job. And they don't transition into the belief system that if I put the energy and time into this business, my own business, I will be able to create that income that will create that stability, and more than even my working for somebody else. So that's why most people don't dive into the business as dedicated, like showing up to every call, every meeting, investing in their mindset, reading books and growing and learning their craft and mastering their craft, because they truly believe the only thing that is certain is when their boss writes them a check. And that is going to equal paying their mortgage that month or putting food on the table. And that's not, like I said, 98% of the world thinks like that. So it's not like a bad thing. Everybody needs security, right? The only reason why I had certainty is because I had nothing else to be certain of. I didn't have money to put in my refrigerator or in my bank. So there was nothing to lose for me. But I would be lying to you if I told you that I would be as certain with Scentsy if I had a stable income coming in when I started Scentsy. I would be lying to you. But I'm telling you that is the average mindset. But people do break that. obviously. There's people that were, in Fortune 500 companies, CEOs, and they became Sensi full-time superstar directors because they, over time, grew their mindset and they learned new skills, and they put the skills that they already had from their full-time career into their business and gave them more certainty that, oh, this can actually be a stable thing. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so let's start with Nina. So what order, if you want to mute yourself, share with us your order of your 6 human needs and why are they in that order?
Okay, let me see. I don't really know if I have them how I want them to be, but right now, for my first one, I have love and connection. So when I first joined Sensi, I was going through PPD, postpartum depression. So at the same time, I was going through my P1 year, my pharmacy doctoral program. So those two connect together. I felt broken basically, and I felt empty. And for me, Sensi helped refill that gap because of the connection that I had with Jess. Jess has been a friend of mine for a long time. It helped fill that brokenness that I had. So for me, that's my number one, because Sensi for me helped put direction and purpose back into my life. When I had originally thought that I had everything together, that I knew where I was going, that I knew what I wanted to do. I had my family, I had everything. And then when I was hit with postpartum depression really bad, it felt like my world was just crumbling. And when I joined Sensi and I got to know the people, within my first few months of joining Sensi, I was in Jess's director and training program at that time with Michelle Brooks and everybody, and getting to know that group of people. They all helped me repair what I needed, the connection to other people, the love that I felt, the love that I wasn't feeling at that time, even though I knew I had it. I was broken. So that helped me. So for me, my number one is love and connection. 2 is certainty, because for me, again, knowing the direction and the vision and what I had planned or was planning was very important to me. When I had lost that, it was shattering to me. Number 3, significance, is for me, it's purpose, what I wanted to do. Joining Sensi, I'm very big on charity. So being able to contribute and help others and give back to the community, while at the same time helping myself heal, was important. Number 4, growth. I always have a growth mindset. I'm always wanting to grow and learn and do something new, whether it's reading a book or, taking classes for something just for the heck of it because it's free and I wanted to learn. Learn a new trade, learn a new trick, or keep growing into something that, that I want to, like with a pharmacy, keep growing, learning new things. With a Sensi, keep learning business training programs that I can only not just use with Sensi, but for my husband's business as well. So 5 is contribution. I can't continually give of myself if my cup isn't filled. So that's why the others have to go first before I'm able to contribute and help others, whether it's helping in the community or helping my team or family members or whatnot. And 6, I took kind of that as a negative at first, because uncertainty to me, I don't like that feeling. I don't like not knowing what will happen, not having a plan. But I guess the surprise of a future is nice. What other options you have, different path to take. So that's what I have. So those are my 6.
So I want to share something really fast, because this applies to leadership. There's going to be so many times when you feel like you're not enough for your team, that you're not contributing to them enough, that you're not serving in some way, providing enough information, whatever that is. And what Nina just shared with us just defined how just being a part of this community can fulfill all those needs, and it doesn't have to be you. Nina and I have been friends for like 16 years, and she's a very close friend to me. I love her like a sister, but we don't talk all the time. We don't see each other all the time, even though we don't live very far, but we both have families. But I was holding back tears listening to her, because to know that offering the opportunity to her did all of that, and that's all I had to do. She did everything else. She's the one that decided with the growth mindset that Sensi can help her with connection, with listening to other women and their struggles, and feeling like she's not alone, and opening up to that. She was very vulnerable by sharing that she was going through postpartum depression, and that was all Nina. So I just as a friend, because I love what it's done for me, that was the mindset that I have, that why wouldn't I want to share that with my friend? I can't guarantee that she was going to take it the way she did, but the fact that she did, my heart is swelling with just warmth, just listening to that. And I want you guys to remember, whenever you fear offering the opportunity of what they may say, the worst they can say is no, and no thank you. But the best thing they can say is yes, I'll give it a try. And Sensi hasn't made Nina a millionaire yet, but her first human need is love and connection. That's why she's in this program right now. So I want you guys to really pay attention to that. And everybody, when they share, I was thinking about, well, maybe I shouldn't do everybody's going to take too long. If you have to leave, I understand. But I think listening to everybody's different orders is going to really open up our minds to how many different types of people that are out there, and that we really have to tune in and ask the questions and not assume that everybody feels the same way we do and put them in the same order, right? Me and Nina are really close, and we have a lot in common, but the love and connection for me to get into Sensi was not what got me into Sensi. It was, I needed to contribute to my friend. As much as love and connection is now my number one human need, when I started, it wasn't. So, or at least I didn't realize that it was. That didn't drive me enough to start Sensi. So I want you guys to think about that. So my next on the board that I can see is Sharon. Thanks, Nina, Sharon.
Okay, for me, my first one was love and connection as well, because it always feels better when you're part of a bigger picture and other people are there for you and supporting you and helping you. Second was contribution, to be able to do those same things for other people, to contribute to them, to help inspire them in their lives. 3 was growth for myself and my business. 4 was certainty, to know what I'm doing is the right path to go. And number 5 was significance, to be able to make a difference. And 6 was uncertainty, because I not knowing. So yeah.
That makes sense. I think when we all boil down and really think, I don't think anybody likes to feel uncertain for the most part, except for when it's like, I want to be surprised for my presents on my birthday or something.
Right.
Like that. But yeah, I think that's, well, I mean, who knows? I'm excited to hear everybody's, because we might be surprised, and uncertainty might be what drives them. Like, yeah, let's do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to dive in head first. And there's a lot of people out there like that. and it really serves them, and that's what keeps them going. So I'm actually curious if anybody has uncertainty on their first one. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing. Shauna, I have you next. Oh, honey, you're muted. Hold on.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Is it, you can hear me now? I did because the dog. My number one's also love and connection, because I really like helping people, of course. I'm a nurse. And when I see how much that I love the product, I like to see how much that they love the product. So that's number one for me. And then number two is significance. So for me, significance means for myself. So I have a big family, and I'm always giving to everyone else, and never really had anything for me. That was my own, that I could say that gave me joy. Not that family doesn't, yes, always, but something that's just your own, that you can say that, you are making it work and it's becoming successful. It's awesome. So for me, that's significance was number two. And then contributions is number three, so that I can make positive, contribution to my family, as well as others, in some kind of way. And then number four is certainty for me, because I am I like to control things. I'm used to controlling things. I've had to, because I have all boys. So I like to be certain, and I like to know what I'm doing. I like to be at the top of my game. When I'm not, I don't like it. Number five is growth, because I really think that that's super important, professionally as well as personally. In Scentsy, in my career, in myself, all of the above. And then number six is uncertainty. Although I like variety and, surprises, and most of them are cool, but I don't like uncertainty at all. And there are a lot of times when I'm uncertain, sometimes, with Scentsy, but it goes away, you learn, and then, you get better at some things that you're doing. And so, yeah, that's my order right now.
Does uncertainty ever stop you with your business from taking an action?
A little bit, but I'm trying to get out of that, and just be like, who cares what people think? Just do it.
So there's
Do they pay your bills? Do they pay your bills?
You don't pay my bills.
No.
There's an example that Tony Robbins says, he says that when we need light in our house, we go to the switch and we turn it on, right? We don't sit there and go in the dark, how does this electricity work? Where does that come from? What has to happen in order for the light to turn on when I push the switch? And try to figure it all out before we get any light, right? We just go, that's the button, I turn it on, and then and maybe after the light comes on, you go, oh, maybe I want to figure out how that turns on. But the people that stay in the dark too long because they don't know how it works, they aren't moving forward, right? They're not satisfying the needs that they need, the goals that they want to achieve. So when we feel uncertain about something and we don't take action because of it, I'm not saying you do, I'm just using this as an example because it made me think of this. It's only holding us back because nobody knows the systems, the actions, the steps that need to happen to make things, get results. until we start taking action, and then we can do the trial and error. That didn't work. Oh, that didn't
And
work.
then that
All
makes
right.
you feel more comfortable.
Yes.
You know? I mean, fear is what holds you back from, oh my gosh, so many things. Like, so yeah, I get that.
Yes. And fear is usually just is in the imagination. It's not real. We have to think about that, because fear and faith, they're both imagination, but the imagination of faith is trust and knowing that there's something greater out there and that it's possible. So if we, not to get all, scripture on you or anything, but let's take it to business, is that there are superstar directors promoting every single month in this company. It's not a season. It's not because they have blonde hair. It's not because they are taller. It's not anything. It's because they're taking actions. So it's possible. So instead of saying, oh, I don't know what they know, I don't have what they have, so that means I can't do that, instead of switching the mindset and saying, okay, it's possible because people are doing it. So let me get started on that path, right?
Yeah. Let me see what I need to work on. Let me see what's what.
Right? Let me start failing, because when I fail, I can learn. Let me start failing forward. Okay, Miss Michelle, you're up next, sister. Thank you, Shauna.
Yes.
All righty. So for me, growth was number one, and
I knew that.
yeah, I was gonna say. For me, growth is very, very, very important. Something I'm always looking for, seeking. And when I joined Sensi, is just kind of a, like, professionally, just a kind of like F you to all of us teachers. So I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna put my heart and soul into something, I'm gonna put it into something where I feel valued, and I'm gonna grow as a person and not let my profession kind of gear or dictate my worth. So for me, growth is important, and it's also a testament to Sensi, being one of the people that have been in other direct sales companies, being able to grow with a company where I felt like I belonged and I was valued, and it, like, their core values are just phenomenal, being authentic. Like, I can be myself and I can grow, and I'm going to learn, and there's going to be trainings, and I'm going to be around a group of positive women, was like, you got me there, like, I honestly, past that, I didn't really like think about it. I was like, cool, I found a tribe. Like, that was like my thing. And then from there, it was like, okay, so now that I'm working on myself, what can I contribute? So contribute's number two. How can I share? And I'm one of those people where my coworkers would laugh at me, because they're like, okay, you give us a sample and you run away, because I'm like, you're gonna really like this, and then I'd run away, because it's like, this is more about you and contributing to you, and what do you like, and how can I help my school or temple or fundraisers, so it's like, I'm growing and I'm happy and I want to share it. So that contributes my number two. Significance is like, what does Sensi embody? The significance of Sensi, and it's just like the authenticity and the generosity and all of those things, just the core values, really resonated with me. And then, which led to like my connection. For me, I'm not a huggy, lovey-dovey person. I'm a tomboy. I will fist bump and like high five and like woohoo, so I'm not like that. Like, I'm gonna, it takes a lot for me to like hug someone. I'm like, oh, you want me to like touch you? Okay. But like the connection part is like, I will cheer for people, and I am so happy for people, and I want my downline to pass me up. Like, I want you to grow and to be like, that makes me happy. And I know that that's not like normal. Yes, money is important. Yes, growing is important. Yes, I want to like leave teaching and like do Sensi full time and all of that. But I also feel like if I'm not going to help other people do that, and like, because I don't know, like for me, connection is like they feel a part of something, they want to stay in Sensi, they want to feel connected. And I feel like for women, like I don't know if this is a teacher in me, I don't know if this is like I went to an all-girls Catholic high school or like Worth, or I don't know where this is coming from, and I have to go to like, you know, Tony Robbins to like figure this out. But like women need to find their worth in this society that's like messed up, right? So like to push those future leaders up and like what that's going to contribute to society, like I'm like advocate for people like to grow and be and flourish and be self-confident. Like that fuels me more than money. Like my bills are paid and we're fine, you know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like if I won $1 million, you would never know. If I won the lottery, you would never know. I'd like still live in my house and I would just be, you know, whatever. Like I'm not a flashy person, but building people up and seeing other people see their worth, like like that fills me. So like that connection and, you know, whatever. So I can go on forever. That's kind of like the teacher in me, right? Certainty is like knowing that everything that I put my eggs in, the basket that I put my eggs in, is going to be around. And with like Sensi, Heidi and Orville, like they're going to be around. And I feel like they're mom and dad, and they're going to take care of us, and they're going to make sure we're all taken care of. And I just feel like this warm, cozy hug from them every time they speak. And that makes me feel happy to bring people on to like this platform, because I don't feel fakeness. I feel genuine. I feel, you know what I mean? Like they're not just like, I was in a direct sales company where they're like, we're going to give away $10,000 this month. And it was like every month. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool for the person, you know, but I didn't feel like I wanted to get to know those owners, because I didn't feel like where they were coming from was really what was the best for all of us that were looking to them for guidance. I was like, I don't need like a stadium and like, woo, you know, $10,000. I was like, I don't care. But like I'll listen to Heidi and Orville every time they speak. At the end of the month, they're like, you know, they're just like mom and dad, right? And they're really not much older than me, but they just feel like mom. They can't be my mom and dad, but they feel like their mom and dad. And uncertainty was last because we can't really guide. I mean, we don't know where our teammates are going to be. We do the best that we can, and we're their cheerleaders to the best of our ability. We are, you know, all in our own, like, you know, we're in business by ourselves, but not, you know, for yourself, but not by yourself. So there's only a certain, say, responsibility that we have as leaders for our downline, right? So that's where like the uncertainty is like, I can help you and I can lead you to water. I can't make you drink. I can, you know, pump into you everything that I know, and I can share with you, and I can upload documents, and I can tell you how to do this. But it's not up to me to, you know, grow their business for them. So that's where like the uncertainty part, it's like, I don't have that control, and I have to be okay with being okay with it. You know, like I know where I want my business to go, and I know that there's a lot of growth that I need to do, and I can share that, but I can't grow somebody's business for them. I brought you here, and I will help you, and I will, you know, mentor you or whatever, or be the resource to the resources, but I can't make you a superstar director. You have to put in the work, right? Like I can't give somebody a master's degree, they have to put in the work. Like I've gone to a lot of schooling and paid a lot of money, and I can't do that for someone. And same with Sensi, you know, as much as they put in is what they're going to get. So, you know, but I'm comfortable, you know, with all of the 1 through 6 is like, I will share and share and share and share. And I do. And then whatever other people do with that is up to them. So
I love that. You made me think about what I said about with Nina, that it's like, you know, you can create a platform or a culture or a family, like, you know, so you feel like you're part of something. And even though, even you, Michelle, we don't see each other as much, we're really close friends. We like try to, you know, see each other as much as possible. It doesn't happen as much as we'd like. But you guys, you know, there's a location that you know where you're going to be loved and where you're going to have resources and support. And even though I want to be sitting next to all of you every day and experiencing every good and bad thing that happens to be with you guys, that's not possible. So what we need to create is somewhere that they have, it's a tribe, it's a culture, it's a place that they could feel a part of something. And so I love how you said, you know, we can't gauge if somebody's going to do something or not. We can't lead a horse to water. We can lead a horse to water. We can't make him drink. What made me, the thought that came through my brain was, you know, we have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because when most high percentage of people aren't going to do the actions that are available and receive the resources and the tools and use the tools that they have. And so we have to be okay with that. Because I have leaders all the time come to me like, why don't my team members look at my posts? Why don't my team members show up to my team meetings? And they get all mad and it's like, is that serving you? Is that helping you getting any further with them by getting mad at them? Maybe we need to take a step back and see why they're not showing up, you know? So, yeah, I hope all of you are like really listening to what everybody's saying and really thinking about, you know, you might be thinking about a team member you have that like, wow, my team member is like thinks that way, or that's what's important to her, or, you know, and it really, really makes you feel more resourceful as a leader of how to help by asking the right questions. Because we're not going to teach anybody anything unless they figure it out on their own by us asking the right questions to make them think and go, what do I want? Why do I not do that? Because we could tell them all day why they're not doing it, but if they don't see that and they don't want to see that, then it's not going to do any, it's not going to serve any of us, right? Thank you, Michelle. Okay, Melissa, you're up, my friend. See, I'm glad you're here. I always want to see your beautiful face. That's why I didn't like that your face was off.
I want to see me scarfing stuff down, and I had no control over when that happened. So
Well, thank you for that courtesy.
it's better to be muted than hangry, right?
Oh yeah, I get hangry all the time.
So this list is just killing me because I feel like depending on the day and where I am, like maybe in my day or even in the month, this list is going to change. And so like looking at this list, like I just, yeah. So I have like 5 different versions of this list that I just wrote down.
Awesome.
But I'm finding a lot of them kind of go together. So like one's not more important than the other, one leads to the other. So 6 and 1 tend to show up at, or 6 and 2 tend to show up first, which is weird because I thought, contribution and uncertainty tend to show up first on my list, which is surprising to me because uncertainty seems like, you know, fear of the unknown. And like, I'm always talking about that, like the fear of the unknown, like it, like that it, what do you call it? Like it paralyzes me sometimes, but I feel like it's important because in order for me to accomplish the other things that I have on the list, I need that. So that needs to be there first for me, that uncertainty. I know that, I don't know, I feel like I'm one of those people that I can do the thing first. I can talk myself into stuff. the uncertainty part of it is more of a constant. So knowing that I'm scared and knowing I'm going to get over it, that's a constant, that's a certainty. And so I can find that certainty. Like, I know that we can't control what happens throughout our day, but we can control how we feel about it. And so that's where that uncertainty part is important to me, because I know that growth is going to come from that, and the significance and contribution and the certainty and all that's going to come from that uncertainty. And so I think that's why it's up on my importance list. So like I wrote numbers, and then I wrote like arrows, because each number kind of leads to another. So I put 6 and 2 first, which was contribution and uncertainty. And then the next one after that, I put 5 and 3, because with that uncertainty and growing outside of your comfort zones, you're gonna get that growth out of that. And then that growth leads to people watching and the significance that you can bring to the table with that. And then I put, so I'm like Michelle, I'm not like a tomboy because I wear dresses and stuff, but I'm not a big lovey person, and like emotions freak me out. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just, like, I like when I have to be emotional with somebody, like I have to sit and think about that and plan it out, because I can come off really callous and mean, and I don't mean for it to be that way. It's just like, so I don't feel like, a love and connection is important, but I think maybe the way I'm thinking about it in this list, it comes off less important than the others. And then the last one for me, I put certainty, because I know that with all these other things, certainty will come. So it's not something that I'm striving for, because I know that it'll just be in place with all the others.
Wow, I love the way your brain works. I mean, I just have to say, it's, our needs are going to change with seasons in our lives. It's going to change with, you know, where we're at in our business, in our relationships, with each situation. When you start brand new, you don't know what you're doing, but when you start to do it, repetition, what used to be scary and, you know, terrify you, now you do it like whatever, right? It doesn't faze you. Like what used to freak you out and put you to tears, one day is going to roll off your back like water off a duck's back. I say that all the time because it's so interesting, but the growth is how you're going to get there. You know, by having the mindset of because I'm scared, because I don't know, because this is something that scares me. It means that I need to do it anyways, because that's what the definition of courage is. It doesn't mean we're not scared. It doesn't mean we don't care. It means we do it anyways, in spite of that, because we know that there's going to be a greater outcome. So I love everything you said, Melissa, and I hope that we need to all, not that I don't love what everybody said, but it's very important to, in this business especially, is we have to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, which means uncertainty has to be high up there, because you don't know what personality is going to come at you with your new customer, with your new host, with your new team member, and how you're going to handle it. I've had people put me to tears the way they've come at me, and these are team members, because just nobody's ever talked to me like that before, and I didn't know why they were attacking me, how it was all my fault, and I had to learn how to adjust my emotions to that and ask myself, is this their opinion or is this a fact? And that's how you're able to get through this kind of business. And you guys, most of you are on a lot of calls, you'll hear this a lot, that I say that Jen Audette, Superstar Director, said this at Reunion. She said, you have to grow thick skin in this business, but you have to grow a bigger heart, because you have to know that what everybody's doing is because they're doing it for a certain reason. And their reason might be different 6 months from now from the way they were the 6 months prior. So all that, what you just said, Melissa, really adds up to that, is that you may be scared doing it today, but you're recognizing that that's going to give you the strength to grow and get you to where you need to go. And that's one of the hardest things for people to recognize and to accept. So that's huge that you're already there. I'm not saying that everybody else isn't in your own way, because everybody's in a place in their life and their emotions and their needs for their phase in the life. Where you are right now is what you need. And that's completely healthy, completely healthy. But for the business, being okay with uncertainty is definitely going to help you through all the ups and downs in the business. That's what I'm just trying to say. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing that. Okay, Denise, you're next.
Okay. So for my first one, I have certainty because now I'm sure I want to do Scentsy.
Yay!
Because it is an up and down business. So I'm like, do I want to do this? Do I not? Do I want to quit? Then I'm going to lose my people. Do I want to? So now I know I'm there, I'm ready, and I want to move forward. Second one is love and connection. I love meeting new people. I can be shy, I can be outgoing, but I see that Scentsy has changed a lot of people. Like you, for instance. You were shy, quiet, didn't want to have a conversation when I first met you. And now I look at you and I say, who is this lady? And the same with Aubrey. She was shy, and now she's like, I mean, she always talked to me because we're family, but I see that it's really helped people come out of their shell, which is kind of awesome and neat because it's like a totally different person. The next one is significancy. I feel I am worthy. I am important. I feel that I can go to the top because I'm like everybody else. I want it and I'm human. And why can't I do it? If everybody else, why can't I? The next one is number 6, contribution. Money's not everything, but to live, you need money. My thing is the same what Michelle said. I wouldn't let people know if I had tons of money, but I would love to surprise people without them knowing it was me and help them with giving them money. I've always wanted to help with cancer because I've had several people in my family pass away. I don't know why I'm emotional, but that's one thing I've always wanted to do. And I said if I ever make enough money with Scentsy, I would go volunteer. I mean, I could go do it now. Well, not now because of what's going on, but I mean, I've always wanted to do that. I want to give back in cancer, whether it's for adults or children or both, which I would love to do, is really important to me. Growth, like I said, helping others. Scentsy makes me happy. Every Joey, he's a significant other. He's always saying, he looks at me when I open my packages and he goes, I've never seen you so happy. And out of all the jobs I have, I can honestly say I've never felt so happy. Even though this is an up and down business, when I get a box, whether it's for me or even if it's not for me, it makes me happy. And I'm like, oh. And then when he catches me smiling, I catch myself and I'm like, okay. So that's where it's like, okay, I can do this full time. And now I am because with his help, I have the opportunity to walk off my job. And now I do Scentsy full time. And the last one is the uncertainty variety. But I feel like that is a negative, but then it is the unknown and change where it could really go in after everything because we don't know what to expect. Change happens every day. Team members come on my team. I don't know who they are. So you never know what could happen. You know, we're here one day, we're not. People come into your life for a reason. I believe that. So, but I feel that that one can just kind of be a slot after all of these.
I love that. It's so true. If we can imagine the greatest, if you close your eyes and you vision all the things, the most, everything you've ever wanted in your life, you know, health, you know, a house, stability, financial stability, help for your family, everything, everything seems so, you know, clear, and you know exactly what you want. And if you can imagine that your life can be 10 times better than what your vision can actually, the capacity that you have, wouldn't that be worth it? To know that your vision isn't as clear, can never be as clear as how clear what your life is really meant to do. There's so much more. And so the uncertainty is, we need to know that whether we realize it or not, because sometimes our biggest clarity or vision, or as far as we can reach, is nowhere near how blessed we're going to be. And so if we had the ability to see everything, okay, let's think about this. If you woke up every day, knew exactly what's going to happen, what conversations you were going to have, what you were going to eat, what you were going to drink, you know, every single thing that was going to happen in your life every single day, what would happen? We'd be bored out of our minds, right? So that uncertainty, it has to be there, because generally, when you really think about it, how many times have you thought something was so great? Oh my gosh, my relationship is so wonderful right now. I can't even imagine it being better. Like, it's been better than anything. You know, a significant other, or your kids that you've been fighting with for a while. Now everything's going so well. I can't even imagine going better. But then it gets better. And you're like, I never even processed that my life could be better than it was before. So here's an example that I'll share on a personal level. This is very hard for me to say out loud, but it is the truth. I never thought my life could be better before my brother passed away. I literally had the thought in my brain a week before he died, I'm living the life that I've dreamed of. I can't imagine it being any better. And then that happened. But now that I've accepted it, and I decided to not let it define me, and I decided to live for him and be the person he knows me to be, my life is better than I ever imagined it before. And that is very hard to say, because it's saying that I'm okay with my brother being gone. That's not what I'm saying. And I know you guys don't think that, but somebody would think that if I said that out loud and they didn't know me. But it's because all the lessons that I've learned through all the pain and suffering that I let myself go through. Because there is a choice with suffering. I didn't know that until recently. So we have choices, and we literally can decide to have a beautiful state, have a beautiful mindset, or a suffering mindset. So I want you guys to really think about that when it comes to uncertainty, where the struggle comes from. That uncertainty, we have to have it, whether it's at the bottom of our likes or not. If we didn't have uncertainty, there wouldn't be an opportunity for greater than we can imagine. And again, something as small as thinking about, if I knew what I was going to eat and drink and conversation I was going to have and who I was going to see every single day of my life, and nothing changed, we'd be like, all right, I'm good with this life. I'm going to move on. Right? And that's why some people do choose to end their lives, because they don't see any change. They don't have growth. They don't feel significant. They don't have any certainty. They don't feel like they're contributing. So it's up to us as leaders is to find out where these areas are in their lives. Because usually, it's crazy to say, is that it's never Scentsy. It's never the business. It's never that people don't want to buy, host, or join. It's something that's struggling in these 6 areas in their own minds. It's not happening for them to be able to believe that this business can work. It has nothing to do with Scentsy. Thank you so much. for sharing, Denise.
You're welcome.
Oh, Miss Aubrey, your hair looks so cute. Your turn.
This is my workout hair.
Well, it's cute.
Okay.
You're rocking it. Good for you. You
Yeah,
worked out today.
I just keep it going. Yes, and I did a 5K yesterday.
Wow,
Okay.
that's awesome.
So
Congratulations.
it was my first one ever, and it was just virtual on your own, but I got a medal, and I was like, yes, proud of myself. Okay, so
Significant.
when I first signed up with Sensi, my main number one was contribution. I had a 6-month-old baby. I was stay-at-home mom, and I wanted to be work-from-home mom. I wanted to contribute and still stay with my baby. So when I first initially signed up, going on 6 years ago, it was contribution number one. Now that I've come out of a 10-year emotional, mental, domestic kind of abuse relationship, I am just like my number one after this whole year of being by myself, and just my number one top thing is growth, because I am finding who I am and I'm loving it. I am finding who I am, and I'm like, this is great. Okay, so growth and love and connection, I was kind of in a toss-up for who was going to be number one. But I feel like the self-growth, without it, nothing else matters. If I'm in a small place and if I'm not growing and I'm depressed and doing all the negative things because I'm not growing myself and my mental capacity and my spiritual everything, growing on every level, then I can't function anything else. I can't offer love and connection. I can't contribute. I can't be significant. I can't do anything if I'm not growing myself from this small place that I was, like this little box that I was living in for over a decade. So growth is definitely my number one. I was at first tossed up for love and connection because it's something that I like. Obviously everybody craves it. You crave some kind of love, connection, whether it's friendship, your family, your friends, our Sensi family, like going to Sensi family reunion and seeing everybody. I love that. I crave it. I crave seeing the whole team and hugging everybody, and I love it. And I used to be like shy, like my Aunt Denny said. Like I used to be really shy and socially awkward. I make my Aunt Denny approach like a Nick. I was like, oh my gosh, Aunt Denny, go say hi to her so I can say hi to her. Because it's like, I have that love and connection. I really crave it, but I need an opener, and it's my Aunt Denny. I throw her in and then go for it. So growth, number one. Love and connection is number two, but it's like love and connection on every level. Our team, I love connecting with the team. I love our team calls because without that connection, you kind of start to fizzle out a little bit. You like your Sensi cup's going on empty. So I need it. I need it. I recognize that I need it. So definitely my number two. And then number three is contribution, because of course I still am work from home mom, thankfully, and I want to be able to contribute. I don't want to be considered like, oh, well, what are you doing? Like, oh, Sensi, like, cool. That's a cute hobby. Because that's what it was for not 10 years, but the whole 6 years I was doing it, it was, oh, like, that's a cute little, I'm glad you have a hobby. It wasn't looked at like, this is my career. I am taking this seriously. I am a leader. And it's like, I would voice that and still be like brought down about it. Like, okay, yeah, that's cute. Oh yeah, you had 4 parties in 2 weeks. Cute, cool. fun little hobby. I'm like, I sold $1,800 this month. Oh, cute. I'm like, okay. Bye. Number 4, significance. Okay. This goes right into it. Significance. Like, I mean something. What I'm doing means something. This is significant. This is important. I am paving a way. I don't want my children to grow up thinking the American dream, college, get in debt, buy a house you don't love to get in more debt. That's not the only way. There are other ways, and my sister tries to push college on me, and I'm like, dude, honey, I love you, but like this, Sensi is my career. This is what I'm doing. I don't need to go to college. I'm fine. Trust me. Okay. Next, number 5. Okay, I took this as a positive. Everybody else is kind of like, this is a negative, but the uncertainty, the variety, I love it. I crave it. I would hate a 9-to-5 job that you're doing the same thing every day. I love the uncertainty. I flourish under pressure. That's where I thrive, where stuff comes up and I'm like, okay, didn't plan for this, but it's like a switch flips. And it's like I become somebody new that is like taking action. They see a plan flat out. They know exactly what to do when something comes up. Like, I thrive in uncertainty. And that's why I don't have any systems, because not because I'm a hot mess or anything, but because I thrive with variety, we'll say. I thrive with it. So my last one was certainty. Like, I don't, like, sure, I'm going to make the schedule, but am I going to follow it 100%? We'll see. But I have lists everywhere, but am I going to follow them 100%? We'll see. It's not my top priority to be certain, like, this is what we're doing. This is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I get bored. I like the variety. I like stuff to come up. And I'm like, okay, I like it. Yeah, that's my spiel. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I love you. You're so awesome.
Thank you.
It's so funny. You make me realize that that's why this is the only job I've ever had that has been longer than 2 years, other than being a dancer, that I had fun and danced and listened to music for a career. Me and Nina did this.
I did that for a little bit, too.
That wasn't a real job, I don't think. I got paid to have fun and work out. But I love that this type of business, always there's something to look forward to, that there's always something new, a new warmer every month, a new incentive
It's
for
like
where we're going to go.
Flexibility, too.
Yes.
Like the flexibility, too. I like that. Like, I like being able to, I want to work, 3 hours today and talk to every past hostess and blah, 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 blah. And then tomorrow, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go pass out some samples today. I'm going to deliver some orders. I like the flexibility because you don't get that anywhere else. I love it. I don't like that stagnant. This is what we're doing. This is it. This is it. This is what you're doing this day. I don't like that. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like it.
I used to I used to say that I felt like a lion in a cage when I'd work like for someone else. Like, it was okay for a while, but then I'm like, really? This is it? This is what I'm doing every day? Really?
Yep.
I feel you, sister.
That's exactly how I feel. I can't imagine working another job. I've worked since as long as I've had kids. I cannot imagine leaving them to go work a job that I hate. And that's my why. Like, I do not want to do that. That's why I strongly do not want to do that. I can't imagine it. And my Aunt Denny has suffered through some jobs. And I'm like, you poor woman. And then she gives me more why. She fuels my fire. And I'm like, you poor lady. You hate your job. I'm sorry. I'm going to go make some samples right now. I'm going to make some opportunity packets. It's fine. We're going to be fine.
Really fast, I want to point out is because I'm with you, Aubrey. That's the way I am. I have to make my own I don't want people telling me what to do. I can't. I've never worked well that way.
Yeah.
But the one thing that was hard for me is to understand that other people don't aren't wired that way. So there's going to be people in our teams that love their job. Like Nina, she loves being a pharmacist. She loves going to serve people. I know Shauna is a nurse. She loves serving people. Michelle loves being a teacher, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be, they still can't be successful at what they do with Sensi. And it doesn't mean that Sensi has to be the end, like, agenda. Like, it doesn't mean it's always going to go to superstar director, or it can. And even if they become superstar directors, they still can do what they do, because I know people that are in Sensi that have a very successful career that they don't want to give up because they love it. And so
they love it.
They're sitting at 2 full-time incomes, literally, because they built Sensi and they built this other career. And they're like, shoot, why would I give up double the salary that I'm making when I love doing both?
Yep.
Like, that opened my mind. I was like, wow, I wish I had that other gig that I love too, because as much as I love Sensi,
Right,
I
right.
had 2 incomes, but there are people out
That's what
there.
I think of too.
Yeah.
That's what, because I've heard before that people are like doctors and superstar directors and keep both because they love their career. And I respect that so much, but I can't pin down something that I love as much as I love Sensi. So I'm pouring all of it into it. I love it too much.
I'm with you.
I've tried really hard to find a career, but I can't.
Because you found your calling. This is what you're going to do, and who knows where it'll lead you to. Because, like I said, since it's the end of your journey, it can open you up. Like, I love to speak now. Like, Shy Me now. I never thought I'd want it. Where I thrive is being on stage speaking. I don't know where that came from, but that's my new, like, I'm going to grow that way or whatever. So you just never know where Sensi is going to lead you to add to your value and another career possibly. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh man, we lost Liz. Okay, we're getting a little late. That's why. So let's get to Alexandria. Thank you for being so patient. But really fast, I just really hope you guys are realizing why I'm having you all do this. It's because every single person on your team is going to be different. They're going to look at things different. What's important to them is going to be different. And we have to take the time to understand those things, because we're not going to be able to support them if we don't take the time to understand where they're at, okay? And it might take you a while to get there. It's not just going to be one sitting. It's going to take, like I always call it, you're dating them. People that before they join, you're getting to know them, you're taking them on dates, having coffee with them, whatever you do. And then once they join, now you have to really get to know them, because now it's like you're living with them. You're taking another step of a relationship. You really have to know what makes them feel good, what makes them tick, what makes them, inspires them, all that stuff. But on the same token, always remember, even if you want to know those things, they have to want to let you know those things. They have to put the effort to sharing those things with you. If they don't come the other 50%, you can't do anything about that. So just remember that. Okay, Alexandria, thank you so much for your patience.
Of course. And you guys can call me Lexi. Alexandria is a really long name.
Oh, so you're good with Lexi? I didn't want to okay.
No, you're fine. I don't know.
On Facebook, you're Lexi though, right?
Yeah.
Facebook, you're Lexi. Okay, awesome.
So a lot of mine kind of go like hand in hand. So my first one that I did was contribution. And that was because, so in 2015, I lost my mom, and my mom was like my very best friend. And I actually lived at home with her until I was like 27 to help take care of her because she was sick. And so after she passed away, I had to learn to basically survive on my own. And now I have kids and a wife. And so my big thing was contribution when I joined, because I wanted to be able to still provide for my family. No matter what happened, I knew that I could help and provide. Which kind of goes into 2, because it gives me a love and connection. I don't have a lot of people. And so I never thought joining Sensi that I was going to grow and have this big connection with people. And I've definitely developed that. And it's crazy because, like I said, I posted things like I never thought that I would get a support system, and I definitely have grown that. And so being able to provide that love and connection to other people who might need it is a big thing for me. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with significance. Like I mentioned before, I've done other companies and I've never felt valued and appreciated, and being in the Scentsy and having that value and appreciation and being able to share that with other people means a lot to me. Our kids, we foster all of our children. And so it's really hard. Sometimes I feel really down and low about things because fostering is really hard. And being able to, like, at the end of the day, know that I'm doing something and I'm making a difference is really important. But that also goes with certainty. I am a huge OCD and planner. I have planners and lists, and I check them off and I mark them a million times, and I add things at the end of the day. So that's like a huge, huge thing for me. But then also with growth, I have a million degrees and I'm still trying to find my all-time ultimate love and career, which I've kind of found, I think. But having this and being able to grow and expand, and also being able to help other people, because I have quite a few friends that have been interested in Scentsy and they buy things all the time. And I'm like, you realize, you could do more. You could join me and you could, do other things and grow yourself. So that's a huge thing for me. And then the last one's uncertainty, because like I said, I'm a big planner, and I have a huge fear of unknown. I have a huge fear of like what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know that I need to learn to be better with that. But like, even when we were talking about people and their like exuberant, excited energies, sometimes if I'm by myself, like that gives me anxiety, because I kind of feel like, well, I don't know what's going to happen and I'm not good enough, and that sort of thing. So I'm working with uncertainty, but that's always been a huge thing in my life. I let fear control a lot of things, and I'm trying to be better at that. So.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
Thank
I wanted to share that, do you know that what are the two biggest fears in human existence is the fear of not being enough and the fear of not being loved. And so every single person, no matter what degree they have, what award they won, how famous they are, whatever, every single person struggles with that at one point in their life, or many, or at all the time, but they learn the strategies of how to overcome those specific fears to get them out of that state of paralysis. Like Melissa, she had to go, but she talked about that paralyzing feeling. I know that very well. And you can really feel the difference of when you're in that paralysis of fear, and then when you recognize that, wait a minute, I am enough, and I am going to be loved still. Even, the house isn't going to cave down on me if this happens. I'm still going to have food in the refrigerator. It's that fight or flight, brain mindset that we've had since the beginning of time. It's the way we're structured. When we first came, when we first came to Earth, when Adam and Eve, there was a fight or flight that we had to survive against the animals that God created. And so it's like, if people realize that everything is psychology,
Yep.
and we really break it down of why are people doing what they're doing, that's what's going to really make a difference in your business, because it starts with customers. What are their needs? What is significant to them? What will make them feel special? What will make them feel like they're the only client you have? They need to feel that way. They need to feel, Nina knows what flavors I like. People call the fragrances flavors. Nina knows the flavors I like. Nina knows that I do not like that bakery stuff. She never calls me and says, well, you're gonna love, there's this new scent called cherry something. She doesn't do that because she knows me. So when Jess walks up to her customer client and says, hi, do you know what Scentsy is? And blah, 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 they're like, I got a consultant. But it's because we find out what their needs are. So, and I think, Michelle, you brought this up, and I realized I didn't say anything about it. She said, it's not about me, it's about them. And when we take ourselves out of the equation about, what's going to happen to me, how am I going to feel, is that going to hurt me? Am I enough? Am I, are they going to love me? But we're focusing on how we're going to contribute to others, how we're going to add value to others as a customer, as a host, making, getting their stuff for free and half off, as a consultant with all of the above. When we take our focus off of us, the contribution starts to happen, the love and connection starts to happen, the significance starts to happen. So when I was under paralysis from grief, all I was focusing on was my pain. Everything was in, and I'm sure Lexi can, relate to that. And I'm sure all of you can, because everybody's lost somebody, I'm sure, that was special in your life at some time in your life. If you haven't, I'm so happy that you haven't experienced it yet. But unfortunately, the only thing that's guaranteed in this life is that we're all going to end. We're all going to go upstairs, one day. And so we have to remember that everybody has the same 6 human needs, and how we're able to add value to them and is how we're going to be able to take the focus and the pain and the suffering off of us, which is, they're going to tell me, no, I'm not good enough at direct sales. I'm not a good salesperson. I'm not a good leader. I don't have the time to do this. But for some reason, we always make the time for something we want to do, right? That's important to us. Just like if somebody you love calls you and says, can you do this for me? Even though you're like, oh my gosh, I have to get groceries for my own kids, and I got to do this and I got to do that. But yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, let me go pick up your kid for you. We make the time for something that we care about, right? But if it's something that we don't care about, we'll sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day and say that I didn't have time to, call those people to see if they wanted to book a party or if they needed something with their products or whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So I'm so grateful, one, for all of your contribution today with being vulnerable and sharing your heart, because your heart is what is everything. Your love, what pumps your energy, starts with your heart, right? Everything started when we were in the womb. The first thing, the sign of life, was the heartbeat, right? So when we lead with love and we lead with our heart and not our mind, this isn't going to happen, I'm not too good, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways, because I really know that this opportunity can possibly add value to this person. Because even if it hasn't added value to me yet, the way I first wanted it to, it's adding value in a way that I'm still here, and I see evidence of all these people, how it's added value to them. And I care about this person, so I don't want them to come back to me one day and say, why didn't you share this opportunity that has added so much value to your life? And it has added so much value to all these other people that you just shared with me. Why didn't you tell me about joining sooner? Right? So if we take it off of us, it's not going to be as hard to share the opportunity and to coach people on our teams, because we're not thinking about, I'm not good enough, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what questions to ask. We're focusing on them. We're listening. We're not thinking about, what am I going to say? How am I going to respond to that? Blah, 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 blah. We're listening, which is going to create, God bless you, the right answers or questions to ask. Okay, so we're in a 2-hour meeting, but I hope you all feel that there's value to all this, because I hope that all the things that I had you do, I'm hoping that it kind of put everything together for you in different ways. And if it doesn't, I want you to, hopefully this experience, I want you to go back and really think about the emotions you had, the things that you did, the actions that you were taking with the program. And then there's going to be a totally other level that I'm inviting you guys to, for another program that I don't know when I'm going to start it yet. Let me get through the next couple weeks with reunion, and I'm doing a Tony Robbins seminar. I'm doing all this stuff, but I owe it to all of you to help you, and for me to bring us all forward to continue this instead of saying, oh, the program's done. All right, hope you got all you needed. All right, have fun. You know what I mean? We got to continue to grow. I went to Unleash the Power Within 4 days, 12 hours a day in 2015. Does that mean that I had all the answers when my brother died? No. That's why when I said, I need this again, I need a restart, I need a refresher. So when he's talking about stuff, I'm like, yes, I remember that, yes. Some of it, I'm like, I don't remember him talking about that. Wait a minute. It's because it's where I'm at in my life right now. So the person you are today and the way you're responding today is going to be completely different of how you respond 6 months from now. And the way you looked at even these human needs. How Aubrey said she was in a certain type of a stressful relationship and just atmosphere. So my contribution was first back then, but then it changed to growth. Her and I right on the same thing. Contribution, I was so stressed that I wasn't contributing. I couldn't feed my kids. That's what I was telling myself. It was reality, but I was telling myself it was my fault. But now, growth, if I'm not growing, I'm dying, which is a fact for everybody. But for me personally, the reason why I was so depressed is because I wasn't growing. I wasn't moving forward. We all need to be moving forward to feel happiness. I was staying in my grief. I was staying in my sadness, in my anger, in my all the bad things that happen when you lose somebody that you love, in my disbelief even. And I was blaming myself for an action that somebody else took. And I knew that with what I've learned with Sensi, but I didn't apply it until recently. So there's going to be things you learn that you know, but are you applying them? And so we have to be refreshing ourselves all the time. So when we are on training calls and we're like, I've heard that before. Oh, this chick's talking about the same thing. Heard that. I know that. But are we doing it? Right? We have to be we have to be the one that confronts ourselves. Am I actually doing that? Or am I just, whatever, I don't need to do that anymore, you know? All right, how many people are left with us? What, 2, 4, 5, 6 people left? I love you guys for hanging in here. What I'm gonna do, I would like to, the first 2 people to volunteer to share your dream boards. And then everybody else, I'd love for you to post it on our page and share in detail what each thing is. It's going to take some time, but it's going to make you really, really grind in why you put those things on your dream boards and what it means to you. So who would like to be our first volunteer? Okay, Michelle went straight up. So Michelle, go ahead.
Like, why not? I'm not shy, but I am, but I'm not. Okay.
You're a high-functioning introvert. That's what
I am. I'm an extroverted introvert because
yes, me too.
I just am. I just kind of like I kind of cheated and looked at what people posted and I was like, oh, that's a good idea, but I couldn't quite. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into it. What?
You said you were inspired. You were inspired. That's fine.
I'm gonna kneel because it's like a big thing.
Okay.
So I have Jennifer Aniston over here. I'm gonna say that she kind of embodies, like, she's funny and she kind of does her own thing and she's like fashionista, but she's like low maintenance. But also she's like a friend, right? Because I'm a 90s kid and she's a friend and we all wanted the Rachel haircut and all that. But it's just like embodying being comfortable in your own skin and the type of people that I want on my team. Like people that just are, I am who I am and I want to do what I do. And she never like offends anybody, right? I'm like, I think like with all the politics, I'm like, I just want like people that like good people, right? Good, funny people. So she kind of embodies that. This is like a money tree. So this embodies kind of being financially free. I just finished my Dave Ramsey. This is the second time I've done the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. So working on like all the the financial stuff and being financially free. So I have today is a day, and it just kind of is a reminder of every day is a fresh start, a new slate. You know, what happened yesterday, and today we get to start anew. Find more time for the things you love. I think during this quarantine, it's just, I tell my kids jokingly, but not jokingly, I'm glad I like you. They're 17 and 20, and it's like, I'm really glad I like you because I'm really glad I like you and I'm stuck in the house with you. So, but you know, we're a very outdoorsy family. We like to go outdoors. We like to spend time together. We like to play games. So, you know, just more of the fun stuff. And working, we work hard. We all work hard. My husband was in the military. He works for the post office. And so now we're kind of in that, our youngest graduated high school. So we're in that next phase of empty nesting, kids in college, thinking of like next steps. And I want, you know, to have a legacy to leave to my kids, to grandkids, and beyond. So it's, yes, we find the things that we love, and yes, we want to live happily, and yes, we want to be financially free, but it's not just for us, it's for, you know, that legacy. Your happiest year ever, because why not? Every year should be happier than the last year, right? And that's like a goal. Be happy. And I, you know, they all know Sensi's my happy place, so whatever. People have a problem with that, too bad. This is just kind of like, my bedroom is my place to just be at peace, rest my head. I don't want clutter. I just want to be. Life is sweet. And then these are like outdoorsy pictures because I love the outdoors. A good day starts with a good morning, starting things off fresh. And, you know, like, I just finished 2 Deepak Chopra meditation, it's like a 21-day meditation, but they were like really good because it's one of those things that it's good for my soul. And if I'm not good, nobody's gonna be good. You know, if mama's not happy, nobody's gonna be happy. And I think too, for me, I feel like as women, we give, but we have to learn to step back and feed our souls and feed our minds and feed our spirits so that we can be better caregivers, or just be better for ourselves, really. Because I'm not a caregiver. I don't cook. I clean a lot, but I don't cook. He cooks, I clean. But, you know, I have to take care of myself. Otherwise, I notice that I'm on edge. I'm not giving of my best to anybody. So those types of reminders. And then I love Heather Stillifson. I follow her on Facebook, and it says, believe in yourself and your own strength. Yes, things can be difficult. Life can be hard at times. You will meet many obstacles along your journey, but know that you can and you will get through each and every one. You have the strength to do so. So I'm like a very big feminist and like woman empowerment, and like, again, back to like, I have to feed other people and do that. And this kind of like embodies that. This is freaking Leadership in January, and I want to be there. And this is home office, and I want to be there too. So I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be invited, and I want to, you know, do those things. So those are the 2 Sensi related, like really Sensi related pictures. The secret to beauty is simple: be who you are. Because I think that if we're fake, we're gonna attract fake, and we don't want to be surrounded by fake. We want to be surrounded by people who own their crap and own their humanity and own their flaws, but are comfortable in their skin, because we are all made by God to be who we are, the beautiful, powerful women that we are. So we all, and this is, I tell Jess all the time, this is such a positive group, and I will never leave Sensi because I just love how I feel to be a part of like you phenomenal women, all of you. So Yes, I get emotional even though I'm a tomboy. Whatever. Do what you love, and we all love Scentsy, or we wouldn't be here. This is Hamilton. So this okay. So our Anaheim Scentsy reunion, I took my daughter. That same year, I had bought us tickets to our Performing Arts Center. So her whole senior year of high school, we went to see different plays at the Smith Center. And Hamilton was, so she graduated Saturday, and on Tuesday we went to see Hamilton. And that year for Scentsy family reunion, she was my guest to Anaheim, to Disney. So she was my guest. We got to go to Disney because she didn't get to go to her senior, what do they call it? The grad night at Disney. So I was like, hey, you didn't get to go to grad night, but as a Scentsy family reunion, they're doing the Hopper Pass. So she was my guest, and we got to do Disney. We got to go to Hamilton. And so this is just a reminder of, you work hard, you play hard, you do. Her whole senior year, we got to do mother-daughter date night for 10 different shows. And then on top of it, we got to do Disney, Disneyland, Disney California, which neither one of us had ever been to Disney California. And it had been 10 years since we had been, no, more than 10 years. I think she was like 7. So 11 years since we did Disney. So it was like a big, like, hoorah and I really try to get to earn that incentive trip to Spain and Europe and all that, and on the ship. But anyway, but I got to take her to that. So working hard, I got to earn that incentive, to earn that for myself, and I got to take her. So this is kind of like, you know, I worked really hard and I really wanted that incentive trip, but I didn't get it. But I did get a incentive, and I got to share that with my daughter, and it was like a whole, like, all-encompassing year. This is a kid that I sponsored. This was like an engineering thing, like a camp. And so I want to do more of that type of thing with other kids. And then this is like a car that I want. So, because I need a new car. Mama needs a new car. And then like all this is like I need to be fit. And then this is like my office, like, be organized, work hard, have your office, have your space. Like, don't forget about, like, I actually went to college as a psychology business major. My dad owned a hair salon from the time I was 7 till the time I was 21. So like, entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. So yeah, so that's my board.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so amazing to just hear you describe just like, we could look at a picture and it means something totally different to us, but when you're able to explain where that, you know, that photo came from and why you put it there, it unleashes a whole new meaning. It's so amazing. And you know, even if you explain it the way you did, how it means to you, and it still doesn't mean that way to us, it's so beautiful watching you have such clarity of what that is, because that's where the most amazing things develop, is from clarity. And that's what those vision boards, dream boards, whatever you want to call them, come from, is because life gets us in a cobweb and we start to forget, what the heck am I doing? Why am I awake today? Why did I get up today? What the heck? And so we need something visual, even if you're not like solely a visual learner. We all have we all do need to see for that.
Such a visual learner.
Me too. But even if that's not our number one, there's a level of vision that that validates. Like, you know, it's hard to have faith when you don't see something. Those of us that are spiritual, we know that there's, you know, we can have a certainty, but all the temporal things in our lives and other things that, you know, maybe we don't quite know how strong it is that we do need that. We do need something to look at to kind of move us forward. So it's so important to be constantly upgrading and really defining what those things are. So, okay, we've got, we're just going to make it, we're going to try to be done by 9 o'clock with whatever time that refers to you, because we've got like 10 minutes left. Lexi, you've had your hand up so patiently this whole time. So if you can please share with us, we'd love to hear it. And then everybody else, please. And Michelle, also post yours again. You don't have to describe because you shared it with us, but I want to see it closer so I can see what all those things are. Okay.
So I'm going to flip my screen around. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it.
Awesome.
So on the top, I basically just have, actually you can see my dog ate it. I'm sorry. It fell on the floor and he has anxiety and he chewed the corner, and before I knew it was gone.
Oh, brings character.
Right? Yeah. But my thing is to promote. I have somebody under me, but I would like to grow my business and get more people and promote up. So that was one of the things that I put on my board. And then down here, we are in the process of adopting. We have 3 children in our home, and they are, one will be 3, one will be 2, and one will be 1. Actually October, November, and December. But we're hoping to have the adoptions within this year. But we also found out that our little baby, who's like 8 months now, she has a 12-year-old aunt that is in care. So we're looking to possibly be adopting her as well.
Wow.
So hopefully we get through adoptions this year. I think it would be a good start to the new year, but we'll see what happens. And then I have to finish school. So this is my, I think, 4th degree that I've worked on. And I would like to finally finish it and finish my job. So I've got a job in the same degree area. So I'm a paralegal now, but I would like to actually have the title so that I could get paid a little bit more and have that, freedom of having money for my family. And then I'm really working now to be healthier for my children. Before I had kids, it wasn't as big of a deal to me, but now that I have them, I want to be around for them. So eating healthier, doing more, being more active is more important. And then in the top, I have to actually get married. So my wife and I met and we got together shortly after Route 91 happened. We actually were at Route 91 together and things like that, and we decided to get married. So we actually are married because we've been through everything, but our families don't know. And we keep having to postpone our weddings due to financial reasons and the kids and things like that. So we were hoping that we were going to get married this December, but now with COVID, I don't know what's going to happen. So it's on my board that it will happen and we will get to have a party and we will get to celebrate it, but who knows when that's going to be. And then I have to get a house because I want to be able to have a place where my children can grow up and have that stability. Renting is still good, but I want to be able to know that at the end of the day, nothing could take that away from my kids. And then I want to be able to travel. Like I said, my children are all foster and they've had a hard start to their life. But I want to show them that that's not the end of it and that they can see the world and that there isn't limitations. So I want to be able to take them places and go places because I never really got that option when I was younger. So, yep.
Wow. I can't wait to see that close up because, oh my goodness.
Yes.
How amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, I just want to let you know, I'm a big prayer. So your children for the adoption, you'll be in my prayers because that is so beautiful. Honestly, I wish there were more people like you guys because there's so many children out there that need homes. It's so amazing.
I keep trying to say that, but then it's like, I can take one more kid. I want to take.
I tell my husband, our kids are graduated. We can foster. He's like,
I can help you.
I'm like, come on, I will. I come on.
I'll help you. Okay. Yeah, our littlest baby, our 8-month-old, the minute I met her, I was in tears and I was like, she's going to stay forever because her mom literally had her on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
And she was addicted to meth. And so she was little. She was only like 4 pounds and she's now 8 months and she's still in 3-month clothing and she's just fitting in them. So it's been hard. And then our 2-year-old, we think he's autistic. He's nonverbal. He can't do anything. And unfortunately, I know that they want us to build the bonds with families and parents, but it's really hard because the entire time he just thrashes around. He hits his head against the wall. He screams and cries, and it breaks my heart because he shouldn't have to go through that. And so I just pray and pray and pray that we'll get to adopt him and we won't have to keep doing visits with his mom anymore, because he deserves to be able to be him and grow. And, you know, if he's going to be autistic, that's fine, but I want him to be the highest potential he can be for himself. And when he's thrashing and crying and screaming,
I can help. I
know,
teach
I was thinking
autism.
about
I
that
can
when you
help.
said that.
Reach
I
out
wanted
to
to
me.
and
I
be
will
like,
help
I
any way
need
I
you.
can.
Yeah.
See how amazing this is? How we
I'm like, me. I will help
I
you.
know. Like, I'm going to message her because I need all the help I can get. So,
Yep, I have an autism endorsement. I taught it for 5 years, and I know some stuff. Reach out.
okay.
Oh, I love it. Well, ladies, I just want to thank you for your time, your hearts. You're the reason why I do this. Listening to all of you, I don't know why I've been blessed so much to have my amazing women like you in my life, but I'll take it. And I just want you to know that you're the reason why I do this.
You attract what you are.
That's true. Huh?
Yes.
Well, thank you. That means that I'm a great person.
Because if you
guys
are not a
both
good
so
person, another Jessica tried to get me to join Sansi, and I was not having it. Because she was
before me, yeah,
so
another Jessica.
was not so great. So there.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Oh my gosh, it's our pleasure. You earned it. You dove in head first and, you know, offered the opportunity. Most people say, oh, I haven't been in it long enough, you know, and you just offered that best gift that we have available. So thank you. All right, ladies, thank you for hanging out for so long. Make sure you post your dream boards. Please share in detail what they're about so we can know, and really pay attention, really read and pay attention to what others are seeing, because that's going to help you. It's going to help me. It's going to help all of us understand how many different views of life that people have, because sometimes it's very hard sometimes to see outside of what our vision is and what we need and what is important to us. And, you know, it may be completely different, and but it's okay. We have to be able to accept that and figure out how we can contribute to them. And it's usually by as much information that we have, it will create the right questions to ask them to be able to pull out what they need to be able to move forward. So I hope this night was helpful to you. I hope the program was helpful to you. And I promise you'll all be invited to the next program that's going to be the next level. I'm going to be doing this program probably pretty consistently. So your team members might be invited, but since you guys all hung in there, I want to tell you that this is the most people that actually have ever hung into the end of any of my programs. It usually ends up with 1 or 2 people besides me. So this is huge. The fact that you guys, you know, really hung in there, and that just shows that you really have, your heart is all in this. So thank you for hanging in there with me. That's all I have to say. I love you guys.
Thank you, Jess.
Yoda.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye, guys. I feel closer to you already.
Yes, buddy.
She's been in the dark. She's outside in the dark this whole time. So sorry. Thank you for hanging in there.
Who's in the dark?
Nina,
Yeah.
she's outside in the dark.
She's hiding from her kids.
I had one that's sleeping upstairs, so I couldn't use the room upstairs. And then
hot
my
outside
baby's
in Las
downstairs
Vegas.
freaking out, so he's like a koala bear on me and won't leave me alone. So I had to run him outside.
Like 100
It's warm
degrees
out there right
outside,
now, right?
Nina.
It's warm. She's fine. She's not cold, but you know,
Okay.
thank you for your dedication, Nina. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Love you.